Soulful shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, this some social shit for everyone, you know what I'm saying? Like, I made this be myself, so hear me. I mean, like, we can pull that clown shit away. This some real shit for you. I'm spazzing right now, so listen, let's go. Yeah, it's in their bones, the thugs in harmony for the love of the money. Then fall victim for the cookie, then turn pussy, it's lonely. You said you hold it down when life get rough, we're here now, so show me. We move them losses to them wins. Heavy pounds, we make it ends meet. Converse with only few who make me feel like I be 10 feet.
Hey, Liverpool, guys, smash the like button, share and subscribe, man. We're here. Quick match reaction to Liverpool not only beating Manchester City, but that was like, obviously, listen, Manchester City are Manchester City, right? Yeah, I mean, they've been the big dogs. They've been the big dogs, and they'll still be the big dogs no matter really what happens, this season. But yeah, this is one of those where we won the battle. We might not be winning the war by any stretch of the imagination, but we won this battle. And yeah, these lot, they just look like they're just devoid of anything, bro. Like, I'm watching the game and I'm just sitting there like, it's so mad. You obviously see even these little stats here, like they have more possessions, more shots, but our expected goals is more. Like, honestly, it was weird. It was so weird. I had some time to go back, and it's good, to watch these games not in the middle of, because such a big game, innit? So to take some time to kind of go back and then watch the game again away from prying eyes and without the agendas flying around on social media and stuff. And yeah, it was interesting, man. I think Liverpool in that first half, I felt like they were good. They were just like decisive. They were decisive. I felt like City were the home team, so they had that feel of being the home team. But we put in like a really good away performance, so I couldn't really, like, I wasn't really mad at anything. I mean, outside of it being boring in the second half, it wasn't really anything. Excuse me, that I looked at in that game as a whole. Maybe a few performances here and there. Yeah, we can pinpoint those, but yeah, all in all, I don't know. It wasn't really. This picture was funny, by the way. I had to put it up there because Arsenal, what gone? Yeah, I mean, I thought you guys were gonna beat West Ham. Yeah, I mean, but clearly not. Clearly not, man. You guys like Isak, man, just over that side, man, over that side. So you losers back there, man, back there. Let the big dogs come into town. Do you get what I mean? 2-0 twice, beating them. It's bro, honestly, it's like kicking the dog while he's down, man. It's just mad watching Manchester City like this. Like, and you know what? Like I said before, this must have been the feeling like that Pep had towards Klopp in that year that we finished 5th. When you're playing them, you're like, bro, you lot are shit, man. Like, yeah, I mean, like, we still respect you in that, but yeah, you lot, because Liverpool probably could have scored more in this game. That's the craziest thing about it. Liverpool probably could have and should have maybe have scored more. And I just felt like maybe the game plan that he had in that second half, in terms of what he was trying to do, just really to soak up the pressure and manage the game, pick your moments, because we got the 2 goals already. So it's not there's no need for us to really go out there and try go crazy and do, madness. It was just more about just really contain, do your thing. Second half, City had moments, and then not even necessarily shots at goal, but it was like they had passages of play that you thought, old school City, they would cut you open enough times in some of these moves. But this City, it just, just wasn't really happening, man. But obviously the lineup, the beginning of the game, we all saw it. I was a bit baffled. I didn't know who was going to play where and stuff like that. Obviously by the heat map here, you can kind of see Curtis Jones was almost playing as like a striker / Szobo. Like, it's weird, right? It's weird, how we kind of set it up. But obviously, with Gakpo coming back from injury, Jota clearly not being fit enough, and I feel like, as I said before to everybody, when let's just say you just looked at that just as an example, right? So let's put it this way: you could say it was like 2 10s. You could say we kind of played with 2 10s in this game, right? But the front 3, whatever that is not going to be the same front 3 that everyone thought it was going to be, a long time ago. And that's what I was trying to stress before, is don't get too attached, because I don't think the attack is good enough in order for you to be like, he has to play, he has to play, he has to play. I feel like anybody, really can just kind of slot in there. And obviously, clearly, Slot had the idea of, having this kind of team for this specific game, because obviously, you know, Gakpo was on the bench as well, Chiesa, Nunes, you know, Elliot, all of these guys are still on the bench. So he could have gone another way, but decided with kind of going with those 2 10s, you know, up alongside Diaz and Mohamed Salah. Yeah, City were, yeah, City, like I said, they're bare possession, man. You know, one player I feel sorry for, and you know, it's funny, I was talking to someone about this earlier on, but one player I feel sorry for was actually Doku. I feel like Doku played all right. Like looking back, then I'm watching it, I'm like, I don't feel like the manager is gonna go in at the end of that game and say you didn't do your job. I don't feel like it was that, if that makes sense. Like, you know, I felt like he was cooking Trent at times. You know, if it wasn't for Konate potentially coming over at times, and even then, sometimes it didn't even really matter. You know, I feel like if I was him in his kind of position, it's like I'm doing everything I can to try and, you know, help us, you know, do something, like spark something. I'm doing everything I possibly can. The reality is, who else is there helping me? I mean, when you look at it, he's the furthest forward and he's in that wide area, but he sticks to that side. No one else is even really Marmoush, like our push. And it really is those two, to be honest with you. They were, in my opinion, more of a threat, you know, when both on that kind of left-hand side for Manchester City. Everybody else, the Fodens and the Savinhos and these man were, they were washed. I just felt like, man, you man just looked tired, and it felt like nobody wanted to take responsibility. That was one of the main things I took away from that whole game. It wasn't really even anything to do with Liverpool. It was watching City, and I've watched you guys, but I guess when you're playing up against your own team, you get to see it in a different kind of light. Like, nobody wants to take responsibility. I get it. Yeah, you might do the pass, but I almost feel like at times they're playing one extra pass that they don't need to play. And Liverpool are already camped in, as you can see. Liverpool are already camped in this kind of, we're chilling. This kind of, we were in like a high line but mid block. That's the way I kind of looked at high line but a mid block, right? At times, anyway. But City, I'm thinking you're getting in and around the box. That's great. Doku, Marmoush, you know, Foden at times. You know, you guys are finding the space in and around the box. But it's like you play pass. Movement even looks good. That's how crazy it was. The movement even looked good, and then you just play another pass. Then the next pass. I'm like, why you playing an extra pass? Just play it in or shoot. Like, it, honestly, maybe they're just devoid of all confidence and whatever, you know, the case may be. I don't know, but yeah, that was my kind of feeling with Manchester City, that, you know, you were making it almost easy for Liverpool at some points, because it's like Liverpool didn't have to do crazy amounts to, like, oh, you know what, we're blocking here, we're doing this. It's like, no, we just stay rigid. We're good enough to do so. And we did. Do you know what I mean? That's the way I looked at it. But yeah, man, it is what it is. One player I thought was really good was Szoboszlai. Again, maybe in this kind of double 10 kind of role, maybe that suits him better. Maybe that allows for him to be have a bit more freedom, you know, so to speak. I felt like he did have a little bit more freedom in this kind of game. So, you know, I felt like it was a good performance from Szoboszlai, to be honest with you. I don't know if he got man, and I can't remember who did. And it's crazy because usually when you see like the ground rules and ground rules 1 and stuff, usually it's really, really high and it's really, really good. But in this game, it was and I guess GA, right? Like, and I know that's what people really care about at the end of the day, but I felt like what he was doing anyway, just in the game, just little things like pressing, you know, moment. There was a moment I remember in the second half where the ball gets lobbed forward, and I'm bearing in mind he looks tired and stuff like that. Ball gets lobbed forward, right? Instead of, I can't remember who the center, maybe Diaz at the time. Instead of Diaz being able to bring that ball down comfortably and then pick out a pass and then get Man City rolling, so it was like, you see, man, like cutting. He's not going to win the ball. He's not even there to win the ball. He's just there to put him under a little bit of pressure. You ain't gonna get no rest from me, boy. You ain't getting no rest from me. And that's the kind of performance that I felt like, yeah, man, like this is really like the GA is for you, all you GA guys. Like, you lot need that in order for you to rate or not rate the performance. I didn't really need that. It's good that he got it, but I didn't need it. I felt like he was doing calm without it, to be honest with you. But it's good that he did, of course, you know, get that. Salah. Listen, man, there's nothing really to say, to be honest with you. He's carrying Liverpool. If I'm being super honest, he's literally carrying this team. Yeah, he's carrying this team. He's carrying his team on his back. He's generally carrying this team, you know, on his back. 50 goal involvements. I mean, the amount of records that this guy's broken already. Mo Salah, first player in Premier League history to register 40 plus goal involvements in 2 different seasons. First player in Europe's top 5 leagues to be directly involved in 50 goals across all competitions. has now scored and assisted in 11 Premier League games this season, the most by a player in a single season in one of Europe's Big Five leagues since Lionel Messi, who also got 11. He's provided more assists in the 24-25 season than any other Liverpool player. I think he's also beat Steve McManaman's record of 15. He is the first player in Premier League history to score and assist in both games against the reigning champions. He's the first player to score 25 plus goals and register 15 plus assists in a Premier League season. Mental. As well as scoring and assisting, Mohamed Salah led all Liverpool players today against Manchester City for shots on target, touches in the opposition box, chances created, dribbles, and duels won. What else do I need to say? It's a carry job at this point. What else can I call it? Like, he's the only one. He's literally the only one out of everybody who remains consistent. He's not doing all the dribbles and this and that, and everyone's like, he can't beat his man. And who cares? Who cares when you're carrying a team on your back? Sometimes that rock is heavy, B. Sometimes that rock is just heavy. There's nothing I can do. Talk to your guys over there. Talk to all the other attackers, because he's carrying the team on his back right about now. Having a crazy season. But it's one of those, man. Like, I'm not surprised. It's just, yeah, like, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, cool. Like, it genuinely is. These are obviously records that these men put out. But the reality, I was like, oh, like, so, man, I didn't even know I didn't even know these were records, first and foremost. But cool. If he's got them, then he's got them. Like, it is what it is. You know, I can't really say no more. Do you know what I mean? It's just, he's just showing everybody, you know, what he's all about, man. But listen, man, Liverpool, top of the league. We go 11 points clear now because Arsenal fumbled the bag. Obviously, we played a game more than Arsenal at this current moment in time, so they can plug it back to 8 points. But listen, man, the games are starting to run out at this current moment in time. It's only one game, ultimately. I'm not going to go too far. I'm not going to be like, oh my goodness, Liverpool. I mean, it's none of that. Because last game, man, were going crazy. The game before that, man, were going even crazier. The game before that, we was going even crazier than that. So I'm not going to go overboard. It's just one game. Ultimately, it just helps us in our pursuit of the title. Nothing's wrapped up in my eyes. I think anything can happen. It's not really a big enough lead, to be honest with you, especially if they plug it back to 8 points, of course. If they don't, then obviously that's when you start to look at things a little bit more differently. But we'll wait and see, man. But Liverpool, top of the league, beat Manchester City. It's all a good day, man. I don't know who you. Let me know. My man match probably would have been Szoboszlai. I'll give it to Szobo. You know what I'm saying? My G right there. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section, people.